Hello everyone and welcome back to Salem 2. In this video we are going to play in Anomaly mode and have a very interesting trapper game. Hope you enjoy! Okay, so the Anomaly also has a ghost town in this game, and Bodyguard, Marshal, Pilgrim and Covenant are banned. 15 says, what is ghost town? The hidden roles? As a ghost can vote. 15 says, oh, and two people jokingly claimed Marshall, but Marshall is banned. Okay, so let's build our trap. And hopefully don't die night one. I love this PM skin. Especially now, it's spring and you want to have some, a touch of summer. And you can do it with this amazing skin. Nice, believed! Rest in peace to 5 the Oracle. They disconnected. Maybe they didn't connect to the game. Or were AFK. I don't know. Rest in peace to 7 the Prosecutor. They were stabbed by a serial killer. Oh no, we have a serial killer. Death Note says, congrats, you were chosen to be killed night 1. Probably I will be discovered to hang, so look the good side. We can vote afterlife. Tenth, the Psychic claims that I'm one in the good vision with 8. 13 says, TS here, do not see me, it's all Annie. 9, the Seer claims that 5 and 15 are friends. 12 claims spy, 3 claims lookout, 8 visited by 10. 1 says, Seer 10 and 15 enemies. 15 says, what? I say I'm TP. 10 says Merc 15. 1 says 15 twice. 15 says I'm town power. 10 says reveal then. 1 says can you prove it? 15 says Mon, I don't trust night 1 knights. 6 says liar. 1 says the Mon claim. 15 says what do you want me to do? Random night 1? 6 says 15 heads or tails. 15 says don't hang any of us. 15 says heads. 6 says you win. I say let's give 15 a night ammo. 13 says leave the 1 for 1 for now. 6 says fine. 15 says interesting. 6 says VFA. I think 2 claimed, right? They claimed TP, I think. Okay, so 15 claims Monarch. Let's see what's 1's claim. 1 is Seer. 2 openly claims Trapper for some reason. That's kind of sus, 2 says all I got. I don't know. I say it's a VFA, no need to full claim. 2 says don't do full claims, there could be ritualist. 6 says 3, 4, 5 claims. 8 says TP for VFA. I say it's a VFA, no need to full claim. 4 says TK. 6 says TK. 15 says, okay, I get it. I get it. As long as there is not a troll shroud, I will do my job this night. 3 says 6, you good? 6 claims town killing. 3 claims town killing. Or did I mess it up? Okay, so 4 is town killing. 15 says 6 claim TK. 6 says vote for time you. 4 says it's 11 Lamau. Okay, so 9 is Seer. I really need to get a new keyboard. I'm sorry. 10 is Psychic. 9 says post it straight away. 11 is a non-claimer. 9 says vote for time, I guess. 15 says, oh, I had info. 13 says, I'm Soch, I was on 5 night 1. This is fake. Hang 13. 15 says, Soch was on 5. 13 says, kill this. One says, why didn't you call out Sia? 9 says, I hate Doom anyway, GG. Versus could be Jester. Okay, 13 is TS. 15 says Doomsay again dying day 2. Tragic. 13 says I didn't see their wheels. 10 says rip. 8 says oh, Doom. 6 says Soch, go on 15. Go on 15. 13 says 11, claim by the way. 15 says on me please, so I can't be roadblocked by a random poisoner. Let's trap... No, not 2, let's trap... Let's trap 13. Because they are socialite and they called out the Doomsayer. They could be a poisoner, but you know, we'll see. Usually I place a trap on someone who is likely to get attacked, and sometimes it's an evil, but I still get, you know, a kill as a trapper. I kill, you know, a killing evil, so it's always a good. The trap on 13 was triggered by the Wildling and the Dreamweaver. "12 was Hexmaster that was stabbed by a serial killer. Got him. Whisper to 13 my info, though you know it's kind of pointless when there's a wildling in the game, but I had to. 13 says that's wild, bro. 1 says 2 and 11 enemies. 4 says smart serial killer. 6 says 11 you better start praying. 14 says I say we have a wildling. Wildling alert. 13 says I'm Dreamweaved. Time on me. Okay, so wait a second, there is a lookout who says that... Okay, so 13 was visited by 8 and 14. So 8 is fake and 3 could be wildling. So they are wildling because they didn't see 3 people visiting. I say 3 is wildling or Dreamweaver. 6 says 15 Baker. 15 says I don't care, I'm Baker. And there is a prosecutor jump scare, and they prosecute 11. 6 says 3 is Dreamweaver, no wildling. Oh, it's again this main character Tom Power who is so paranoid and doesn't trust information. Thirteen says I'm very much Dreamwoven though, so please do be on me. And this was a deputy who didn't claim at all. 15 says, huh? 13 says, please turn on me. 6 says, I don't believe you. Oh my gosh. Report the AFK man, says 6. Okay, so 3 was voted up. I will post my trap information once again. 6 says, I think 14 is fake. 1 says, video on 14 then. What? This is tarnation you. 13 says, 15 knew I was Dreamweaved. 13 says, 1 is Coven. Simple as that. I say, note on me, I whispered start of the day. 6 says, I don't believe I would have lived, even when I claimed pros and whispers to 1. And that's why I say, told ya. 1 says, Trapper saw Dreamweaver on them, and it's only you and 3 visiting 13. 13 says, which is why I trusted you more. 6 says, bro, Coven really throwing when not hanging me, killing me. I hope now they trust me when it comes to the prosecutor. Otherwise I'm gonna be so mad. Okay, so 13 is Soch. Sadly I can protect them because I need to rebuild my trap. But we got one Coven out, so it's good. Nice, I survived. So I can place another trap. Rest in peace to one, the seer. Oh, they were soul collector. They were stabbed by a serial killer. Oh, hey, you're fake. Why you exposed the baker, though? True, maybe they had a play, so, you know, they wouldn't suspect them of being death when they transform. I don't know. 4 was pirate. They were killed by the Coven. Rest in peace, pirate. Landlubber soul collector, serial killer, oracle. They checked 1, 6, and 2. And Dreamweaver down! Thank you, SK! They didn't even spell bodyguard correctly. Six has 2 is fake. Oh, there is a conjurer. I think they're getting the pros. Even though pros is fangless because they persecuted the townie. That was a waste of conch. They could have gone for 15. I'm nuking 11 for not voting or talking. We had better leads though. Why did it prosecute? Ten says, and we mark 2 or 15. 2 says, get that farmer out of here, bro. I'm not. 15 says, of course, nuke the prosecutor without any way to prosecute. Snap crackle pork that had bread. 2 says, this is a setup. 10 says, lol. Student says, it could be any of us. But kill 2. 2 says, 14 is SK. I say, I'm confirmed trapper. Get off. I say, get 2. 2 says, 13 is SK. They're just accusing random people again. They're so desperate to be Enode. And also, you see, the wheel is wrong because they on night 2 they say they set the trap, and night 3 they're building. So that's not how it works. I say, it's cute how you try to blame me like that. 15 says, oh. 13 says, I was on 15 night 2, go the fuck away. 15 says, what? Oh. 2 says, I don't know, bro. 10 isn't SK though. I know that. 15 says, I feel in love in a fake way. 8, you know that. The ghost. I forgot it's a ghost town, so ghosts decide who wins. So many of them. 10 says, I forgot ghost can vote. 13 says, good job, 1. And this was a conch. Let's go. I say, nice. SK left. Student says, defending their team. I see. Okay, I'm trapping 13 again. As I get 15 in my last will. And I'm dead to SK. Expected. 2 says, I don't know. 8 says, vote 13. I don't know why, to be honest. 6 says, vote 10 IMO. Of course you had to move to the psychic instead anyone else. 2 says, 10 is hexed. We can win. No, you can't, because Hexmaster is dead and there is no necro to revive them. 6 says, Hex is dead. 6 says, you all can't. 13 says, fast on 15. 15 says, if the evil ghost won't help me. Vote 13. 13 says, trust me, ghosts, please. I say, Hex is dead and you don't have a necro alive. 10 says, Merc 15. Let's go. 8 says, Hex is basically VIP for Coven, but if he hexes everyone, not Coven, you win. 15 says, if they don't want to help me, it's okay. 13 says, I call all the townies in the graves. Okay, so now it's 3-2, 2-1-3. 8 says, vote 10. 15 says, I have a problem. 13 says, it's not 10, not 10. 15 says, I don't know who has the trap. 13 says, for fuck's sake. 8 says, we don't have Coven. Help the SK. 15 says, yeah, GG, I tried. I lived a lot. I say, no, I won't help SK. 15 says, I'm satisfied. 8 says, shut up, town. 6 says, I thought 10 was SK. I say, they had the weakest claim ever. 8 says, I don't know who SK is. 13 says, 10 on me tonight if the game doesn't end. 6 says, I thought it was 10. 13 says, simple as that. 13 says, so just kill me. 8 says, no. 10 says, I don't think a psychic can kill people. And this was a serial killer. Let's go. 13 says, well then. 10 says, GG's. 13 says, I don't think so either. I say, GG's. We won. 8 says, psychic is the most powerful NK. 10 says, for real. 6 says, oh, I thought 10 was SK. 13 says, I knew 14 put trap on me. 10 says, I was confirmed, I think. Here are all the roles that we've had in this game. Thank you so much for watching this video. Here are the ones that might interest you as well, and see you soon in the next one.